Good evening, everybody. I had an interesting thing I wanted to talk about. I've been reading a lot online the past day, actually, about them doing a Thundercats movie and a He-Man movie in 2018. Um, Now, I'm not sure if anything has been confirmed or not yet, but I think I'd like to see a Thundercats movie myself. Honestly, I grew up with the show. I grew up with He-Man as well. Um, but I definitely don't want Michael Bay, honestly, to direct either one of those. Um, I feel like they should give the opportunity to a proven director um, who has a good history of producing, you know, like maybe Steven Spielberg or maybe like Tim Burton. I was thinking, um, mostly because Tim Burton has directed great movies. I mean, we're talking like Sleepy Hollow, Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands, and obviously Beetlejuice. Um, I feel like he would be a better fit for those two movies. Um, and as a fan of both of the shows, I feel like that would make a lot more sense because he also directed Batman Returns, and that was such a huge success, honestly. Um, Steven Spielberg would be interesting too because he obviously has done work on so many great movies. I mean, we're talking all the way back to like the 1970s with Jaws, and several other big productions that he was involved in. Um, so the comment section below, like, who do you want if these movies are made? Who would you rather have directing these two movies? Your choices are obviously Michael Bay, Tim Burton, or Steven Spielberg. Or what about um, a director that's more modern, like Robert Rodriguez, or some of the people who have directed some of the Disney movies, recently, or even Alien Covenant, which I've heard was a pretty solid movie. Um, I would like to see a decent He-Man movie. I just want to have, all the characters in it. The same thing with Thundercats. I think that we deserve to have something that we all can look back on and say those movies are great. Um, yes, they did have a He-Man movie. Uh, you know, Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, it was okay, but I feel like they could do so much more with it if they would, upgrade and do a more modern one. Um, I can't say I was really too into the Transformers series. I felt like we were really let down. By Michael Bay and his vision of Transformers. I didn't care for too many of those movies. I just, especially not the last one that I saw. I thought it was pretty bad, honestly. As a Transformers fan, I was not happy with that. Um, and obviously, you have to consider, the modern Star Trek movies too. I mean, some of them were good, some of them were bad. I've only seen like two of them, but I feel like Tim Burton would make a whole lot more sense. Steven Spielberg even would make more sense. Um, we we as fans of He-Man and Thundercats must come together and say we want a good director for this. We don't want nonsense, and we don't want movies that are going to be so horrible that they're just going to go straight to Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. Um, so yeah, what's your idea below? Do you agree with those directors? Do you have other people in mind for those movies? What's your opinion?